Hey guys, Julian from J. Lewis Trading, and today for YouTube, I'm just going to post this real quick trade that I made today on MBRX. This stock so far this week has been sort of coined the darling day trade because this, and I actually coined that myself. You're welcome. Because this thing has been firing off like crazy. This thing bucked 129 resistance on Monday, I think it was, and this thing has just been non-stop to the up until Thursday when this thing started showing signs of serious weakness. Generally speaking, if I'm not long these situations, like I wasn't long MBRX, but I will tell you that if you haven't taken the gap strategy, this is it. This will show you how to long these gap trades. So look into that. The J. Lewis Trading Gap strategy is available. And if you haven't taken it, I would suggest taking it because it shows you exactly how to get into these situations. But I was not long this. What I was looking to do was I was waiting for it to lose steam, patiently waiting, and that's exactly what I got today. Was I got my opportunity to short, and simply put, what I was doing was I was watching some pre-market activity, and I noticed that there was this nice drop. Yesterday after hours, we got this sort of dead cat bounce. Still yesterday after hours, bit of a gap up, which closed right through here, which is today. And essentially what I was doing was I was looking for an area where I could get into this, and I noticed obviously that this area was a level that had been holding. So that 220 level, obviously, to me, was an area of some importance on an extremely short-term basis. So again, after hours yesterday, we had that drop to 220, dead cat bounce, gapped up, came back down. Again, a little bit of price action through here. It dropped. It was holding this area. When the market opened, we got a drop down to 203, but again, it rallied very, very quickly. And it was just traversing in and around this approximate area. And then it sort of started to look like it was going to run. And then it dropped back down, holding that 220 level. So essentially what I was looking to do was I was looking to get into this to the short side because, again, I felt like this thing was just going to give back some portion of its gains. It's Friday. This thing had been moving all week. I kind of was speculating, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, that most of the people, most of the traders, smart traders and fluke traders that got into this were probably winding down their positions and taking profits on this. It's Friday. So I thought to myself, I'm going to short it. And so what I was doing was I was looking for an entry point on this, and I'm going to read right off of my trading ledger that 1019. This is the 1 minute chart on MBRX. This is today's action, 1019. This is where I was getting in right through here. And the reason why I was getting in at 1019 was that obviously that this thing had set it had set a low, a higher low, and then it started to move up, but it could not hold. And then you saw this steep decline right here through these two moving through the 9 and 20, or sorry, that's a 9 and 20 period right through here on some decent volume. And as it was doing that, I marked off this little level right here, which was 231, 230. And I said, well, if it can break through that and confirm, I'm going to use 225 as a trigger. And essentially that's exactly what happened. So at 219, I was triggered in at 225. It came down and it hit this low of 213. And I'm just going to read right out of here. I was in at 225. I had a target of 216. And I was out of this at 12 o'clock. So it almost hit target. It trended sideways right through here. And you can see that it was being, I don't want to even say propped up, but it was just sort of trending in and around all of the periods right through here. So you got your 9 period, 20 period, 50 period, and then VWAP and the volume weighted average price. And what ended up happening was it finally just let go. And I'm really big on these short targets. And essentially what happened was I was looking for this area right down here, 216, as a target. And this is where we got triggered to cover the position right through here. So again, up through here, 219. This is the bar that I was in right through here. And I was in at 225. I guess it was this bar right here. And ticked down, rallied back up. 216 was the area that I was looking to get out of. Now, you can see that it says 216. I did not have a 216 ask to cover. So obviously when you're shorting, you're buying on the bid and then you're covering on the ask. I didn't have a 216 ask to cover. So this thing rallied and I got a little skeptical because my stop was up at 232 and this rallied all the way up to 230 as you can see here. Came back down, didn't quite meet the low that I needed it to. It rallied back up. I found a little bit of comfort right through here at 227, 228 because the high was lower than the previous high, and so that's always, you know, positive news. Lower highs, and we weren't really seeing too much by the way of, well, there was no upside movement, so it was just getting lower and lower, and then I finally got my crack right through here, and it came down, didn't hit my 16, but again, lower high, very, very bearish. And then right through here, it took out that 16. And as it was taking out the 16 and it reached this 212 level, what I had done is as I moved my my initial stop of $2.32, which was my initial stop, I adjusted it all the way to 216. So when I was down here, my new stop was 216, and you can see that I got triggered out of this trade right around through here. Now the bad thing about this is that after a rally, this very, very short-term rally, not only did it come back down to 216 and take 216 out, but this thing actually came down all the way to 285. I left a lot on the table here. Because like this little trade right through here, I did very, very well on, but I would have done exponentially better had I held. But you know, sometimes I'm willing to leave a bit on the table if I can walk away with my my target. My target was hit. I was fine with it being hit. I put up the appropriate amount of risk for the appropriate amount of reward. That was all facilitated. And I just didn't feel like I wanted to risk anything more, so I walked. And from the onset, this was an intraday trade. You just never know. So if my stops get hit, I'm obviously not going to adjust them higher, but I just didn't want to risk not being able to close out this trade. And so I, in profit that is. So I took my target of 216, and that was a case of me lowering my stops as price action was getting lower. I would have liked to have seen it rallied a little bit and then fall. I would have liked to have seen this earlier. I didn't. It is what it is. But this was a profitable trade. I did hit target. And what I made on the upside was about double what I was risking. So it was a 2-to-1, nothing crazy. But that was the trade on MBRX. And I'm not going to call it right now because it is Friday, but I'll make a call right now, even though I said I wasn't going to. I bet you that this is going to see lower lows come Monday. MBRX, that was the trade. If you're a member of J. Lewis Trading, I would strongly suggest going into the video library and seeing the full video lesson that I posted on this. This is just a quick summary on what I traded, but the full video summary on this stock, both long and short, is closer to about 30 minutes, and that's up there. So if you're a member, check that out. If not, become a member. So this was MBRX, and if you have any questions about this trade or other trades, as per usual, feel free to email me at info@jlewistrading.com. And yeah, I hope this has helped somewhat. Watch it again. Email me if you have any questions. Thanks so much.